The Great Drought of 2012 tightened its grip on America this week as more than half of the continental United States has been declared disaster areas by USDA, mainly due to drought and excessive heat. All told, 1,584 counties in 32 states received the designation, making farmers eligible for low-interest emergency loans. Meanwhile, the U.S. Drought Monitor reveals arid conditions are intensifying, with the vast majority of haying and grazing land locked in the driest conditions in half a century. Hoping to bring relief to weary livestock producers, USDA expanded emergency haying and grazing on close to 4 million acres of conservation land this week. Like so many other producers in the South, Arkansas cattlemen are enduring their second straight year of extreme drought.
This is the worst year that I can remember having been in the cattle business. Last year was a dry year, and we sustained some loss of our grasses in the fields, in the pasture, and in the hay ground, and we cut back our herd to some degree last year, but nothing like now.
Fourth-generation farmer Gary Rowlands of Pope County, Arkansas, says he's endured long stretches without rain again this year, on top of several 100-degree days. And like so many other livestock producers, he's considering selling their cattle simply because they can't afford to feed them.
Just an incredible amount of cattle going through our sale barns. Our local sale barn is typical of the barn on I-40 there at Ozark, over here at Ola, and also at Lewis Auction there in Conway. If you look at the weekly market reports, their sale numbers have been double and triple of this time last year.
And in one of those sale barns, a sale that started at 6 a.m. ran through the night. The reduction in herd size will have long-term impacts for consumers at the meat counter.
The drought is starting to take its toll, and the fact that there's a glut of older cows on the market now, and those cows are selling at a lower price.
Kansas ranchers are also sending cattle to the market during these dry times.
We've started selling pairs, and we will probably sell pairs and try to keep the core of our young herd, or younger cows, in the herd as long as we can. I guess if it doesn't ever rain, they'll all end up in town.
Care for those animals left behind is a big task. Water delivery to dried up pastures takes its toll on producers and the livestock. For Ken Grecian, that could be an up to 5-hour-a-day job.
Their water consumption's probably 20% of what we have to haul now, and it's time consuming to have to continue to haul water. I'm starting to lose sleep over this. I mean, it's serious enough that we have to make hard decisions, and making the right call in a atmosphere like this is sometimes difficult.
The other big consumer of corn, of course, is ethanol. This week, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association asked the EPA to put the renewable fuel standard on hold, saying the mandate is causing severe economic harm.
We'll pay any price for corn as long as the market is driving that price. But with the renewable fuel standard, that's a government mandate that's driving that price.
And while the window to bring any relief to the corn crop is all but slammed shut, producers for other crops continue to pray for rain. USDA's latest crop conditions report estimated nearly half of America's corn is in the poor to very poor category. 1/3 of the nation's soybeans garnered similar ratings, tying conditions in 1988. And as if drought wasn't enough, arid conditions were exacerbated by blistering temperatures.
We've seen record-setting July heat stretching all the way from Denver, Colorado, eastward and northeastward into places like La Crosse, Wisconsin, and Rockford, Illinois. Previous records in some of those communities were set for July heat in 1921, 1934, 1936, some of the truly historically hot summers of way back in the distant past. And that certainly surpasses what we saw in 1988. On top of that, The very same areas of the Plains, Mid-South, and Midwest had record-setting dryness.
For Market to Market, I'm Paul Yeager.